Sharp talk time, people. This is where I bring real people who've done magnificent transformations and I bring them to the stage of this podcast so they can tell their story on how they get started. And here today, I've got Mr. Reed.
Yes, brother.
Boom, in the house.
You saying?
Now, this guy, okay, I've worked with him, but I want you all to hear his story because he's gone through a magnificent transformation. And Roy, do you want to explain a little bit about yourself? Because it's too much. Do you know what I mean? I know you're a musical artist.
Yeah,
and give me a little bit of background about yourself, please.
So, okay, Roy Reed, Birmingham, born and bred. So training and things of that nature and well-being and all this kind of stuff for me was kind of, it's just what people say. It's just their way, their thing. I'm a bit bored. I'm not bothered by that. I'm okay. I feel good, whatever, right? But I got to a certain stage and a certain age, and I was thinking, my God, I can see a little spread. I can see a little this, a little that, a little the other. And I'm like, I've got to do something about this, right? This was about 2020. And I thought, right, I'm going to do something about it, but didn't.
So right now, we're talking about the problem right now, isn't it? The problem that you had,
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And then, like, you wanted somebody to, okay. So.
Yeah. So, I knew Mike, we'd known each other a long time, man. And, I just saw this kind of middle-aged spread, and I'm like, I don't like this one bit. Took a picture. Was out for a meal, someone's birthday at the time. And took a picture, looked at the picture, hated the angle. You know what I mean? And I thought to myself, it's just the angle, man. It's just the angle. And the shirt didn't fit well, didn't look right in the right places, and looked bad in the worst places.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I can't have this at all. So I made a phone call to your good self, yeah? And then it's like you just stripped it back, and then it was a case of, okay, what do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? What do you want your body to look like? How do you want to feel? Yeah. So,
but fast forward to that, okay? Because I remember before, like we're going way back. You did say to me before, like, Mike, I'm interested in the gym.
Yeah.
And it took you a while. We were talking about how long was it? About a year before?
Couple years.
A couple of years.
Couple years, easy.
Okay.
Right. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. It's one of them things that you say you're gonna do, and you don't necessarily do it. It was a picture that triggered it.
Okay. It was a picture that triggered it.
That triggered it. I was like, I don't like that picture.
Yeah.
You know them ones? You look at yourself, that's not me.
Okay.
But it was me. You know what I'm saying?
That's like, you're looking in the mirror, you're like, wait there. I can't run from it. I'm actually seeing the truth.
Yeah. Exactly that. I looked and I thought, I just don't like this. It isn't me. And, let's be real. We've all got a level of vanity. Do you know what I mean? A level of vanity.
Yeah.
So I saw the picture and I thought, I don't like that. And I knew I was at the stage in my life whereby I can't just depend on my metabolism. I can't just depend on playing football, right?
Yeah.
I have to literally work. I have to literally do something about it. Once you get your head around that, that's when, for me anyway, that's when it was a case of, right, okay, I'm willing to put the work in. Tell me what I got to do.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah. So what was that frustrating feeling? Everyone's got a frustrating feeling that, do you know what I mean? That drives you to the point that you want to achieve it, but you don't know how to. And that's why
Yeah, the frustration.
You wanted to solve that problem.
Yeah.
So what was that frustrating feeling? What was that solving that problem?
I think the frustrating feeling looking back was not knowing that there was any particular issue, right? But then the picture triggered something within me to say, actually, you're putting on weight, bruv, right? And you're putting on weight in an area that's giving you a dad bod. And that's not me, right? And I thought, I've got to do something about it. The frustration was not really admitting that to myself. Does that make sense? Knowing it was there, knowing that there's a problem, and it took a picture to really trigger it for me. But to be real with myself, I knew it was there. I knew it was happening. It's just that on that day, at that time, via that angle, wearing that shirt, illustrated it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
So that was a frustration because I kind of knew. Yeah. So I was kind of lying to myself, but then couldn't lie anymore because I could just ignore the picture and say, hey, I look all right, man. I look good, man. Yeah, sure, man. It's just an angle. I could easily lie to myself, but I decided not to.
Okay. So let me ask you a question then. So what was the problem that you needed me to help solve?
I think it was about mindset, right? Because I came to you thinking, I'll just train for a bit and that's it. It wasn't about that. It was about breaking down. It's almost like a word. Within a word, you have syllables. You understand?
Yeah.
You have syllables. You got to sound them out to get the word, right? My journey was like breaking every single aspect and everything down and then rebuilding it the way in which you want to rebuild it and remake it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, what do you want? Big shoulders. It's not as simple as that. Yeah. What do you want? Muscle. That's not as simple as that. What do you want to do? You want to look like an athlete. Well, it's not as simple as that. You got to break it down. You got to do certain things first, then you start building. So it was the building blocks, really, I think. Make sense?
Yeah. So the building blocks. So learning the steps that you needed to go through.
Yeah.
So you could keep on building and
then making a lifestyle from it as well. So learning the steps, ensuring that you take those steps, and also you believe it as well. Because it's one thing hearing someone say something. It's one thing listening to them, but taking it in and believing it, that's different. You understand? Because you can tell me all the time, yeah, Roy, man, just do press-ups every day and, you'll be all right. And I can be like, no, really?
Yeah.
Or I can stick to the process and do those press-ups every day, do 100. And if you say to me, Roy, after this amount of time, this will happen if you're taking the right steps, and it happens, there's my belief system right there. Because for me, you told me to do certain things,
Yeah.
And then within a month, I was like, oh, I did. That shoulder's popped out a bit, hasn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking, what's going on here? This shirt is a bit tighter, but in the right place. And that was the kind of journey that I went on for me.
Yeah. What was, over the time, if you could give the viewers, because they don't really know about, when did you start to when, how long was you training for, So if we were to break it down, I've got to know the numbers, but I want to see what you remember from when you first started.
Yeah. The first numbers, training-wise, I started training with Mike in August 2020. And I went on a 3.5-year journey with you at that time, yeah? And it wasn't anything crazy. And this is what people have to understand. It's not crazy. I was doing something twice a week with Mike and then doing my own thing maybe once and then maybe playing some sports. So I'd either play squash. That's another story.
Yeah, we're going to go into
squash, right? Yeah. Or I'd play football, right? Nothing mad. And I wouldn't even play football every week. It may be every other week. So minimum, there'd be 2 training sessions and maybe a physical activity as in a sport, right? And that's what I would do really as a minimum.
And bearing in mind, if we could cut back to when he says about sport, Roy's background is that you used to play football before.
Football.
And he loves
football.
Loves football.
Loves football. 11 aside, 7 aside, 5 aside. That was the thing that kept me really, really fit. And that's why I didn't really think I needed the gym. Because I was running up and down, everything was good.
By the way, you see what you're saying there?
Yeah.
That camera members, he's the same as well, he said the same thing.
Yeah. You know it. When you're a certain age, right? So you're in your 20s, even your 30s, you're running up and down, you're doing X amount of steps through football, the weight starts dropping off you. You can eat anything, you can probably drink and all the rest of it and still be good. But when you get to a certain point, you realize that, you know what, I can't really be doing that, because it's not working the same way that it was. And I went through years of that denial. Yeah. You may look the same, but inside your body's changing. Yes.
And what would you say to the people, any of the men out there or females that say that, it's too late for them to start in later ages?
Listen, man, it's like anything you do in life, right? If you have the mindset to do it, it doesn't matter what age you are. I started properly training with Mike at the age of 46. This is the truth, 46. Prior to that, I didn't love gyms. I thought gyms smelt. I wasn't in it. I didn't like it. I thought there's pretentious people there. It weren't me. It weren't me. It weren't my vibe. Started training with Mike, and I'm telling you now, it's literally part and parcel of my lifestyle. I don't go without the gym, 2-3 times a week. I'm not telling anyone to go crazy and become like fanatical about it, because it's like anything. If you go too hard at something, there's going to be like a drawback. Just take your time. If anything, ramp up, but don't go too crazy first time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, listen, let me ask you a question. So, I know you came to me. What was the difference between coming to, Body Sharp and using our service compared to others? Like, I know that there's a lot of people that who you know.
Yeah. I think it helps that we're familiar with each other and we've known each other a long time. I think that really helps, right? But it's all about kind of, how can I put this? If you go to a hairdresser's or a barber's, right, and then you want this person to cut your hair, and you look at their hair and their hair looks terrible, they've got very little credibility, right, in terms of cutting your hair. They may be good at, barbering, but they don't look great. So how can they make you look great, right?
Yeah.
To me, I've known you 20 odd years, and you've always looked in shape. You've always had a positive way, a positive vibe. Lots of people have trained with you over the years. Lots of people have spoken highly of you. Lots of people I know really well have spoken highly of you. And also people that I don't know so well, more importantly, right? So that was one of my key drivers and reasons.
Okay, and thank you, man. In other words, you're saying, Mikey, you're still looking sharp, man. So bless.
Well, it's never, you don't go out of shape. It's proper. And people, if we're real, if you're going to be trained by someone, male or female, you would look at that and want to mirror yourself on that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You would want to mirror yourself on that if you're going to be absolutely real.
Yeah.
So credibility.
No, thank you. And credibility itself is a Body Sharp feeling. And anybody I work with or anybody comes to the academy, it's all about just creating that Body Sharp feeling. So in actually saying that, so take us through the moment when you realize that this thing actually works.
Yeah. I was about a month in. About a month in. We initially took some pictures. And then after a month, and I literally gave you the keys. And when I say gave you the keys, what do you want me to do, Mike? You want me to do that? Okay, cool. What do you want me to eat? Okay, do this. Okay. What times should I be eating? Okay, do that. What should I be reading? Okay, I'll do that. What should I be watching? Okay, I'll do that. Calories, what should I be kind of noting down? Okay, I'll do that. And I did everything, as you remember, to the absolute letter.
Yeah.
Only reason I did it to the letter is because I was ready to do something. If someone comes to you and they're ready to do it half in, half out, then you know what? You're going to get half in, half out results at the end of the day, right? But I realized after the first month, having done all those steps, something's happening here. Something's happening here. Something's different. I felt different. I felt more alert. I felt more alive. I felt strong. I felt on it. I didn't get fatigued. But the thing about not getting fatigued, I didn't get fatigued at strange times in the day, as opposed to what I was doing before. 3 o'clock, I'd have a little low or whatever. I felt alert. You understand? And I felt tired at the right times. So, yeah.
Yeah. And also give us one of the moments when I call it when there's probably something that you never thought that was possible.
Yeah. Many. I'll give you an example. So when I first got there now, we were trying to do some pull-ups. Just simple pull-ups. I looked at it. I was like, I'm sure I play football for time and I can do that, man. No problem. Boy, I did one. I was like, yeah, cool. Did two. Like, geez, and I got to 3 or something like that. I got to 3 and I just couldn't really do any more.
Yeah.
And within a month, as you know, 10s, 12s, and not with ease, but I was doing it. Do you know what I mean? Because it was about the technique. It was about failing, doing 4, having done 3, and getting a small victory We used to talk about small
Yeah.
victories,
Yeah.
right? And if you've done like 3 one day, the next day you've done 4, and then, next week you do 5, after a month you're doing 7 and 8, you got to look at that as small victories. You've had many small victories. And as you know, you can take that metaphorically into anything that you're doing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is so true. And bearing in mind, considering that you're struggling to do pull-ups, you actually took it to doing even weighted pull-ups.
Yeah, exactly. That's the next stage.
Did you never think that you would be able to do weighted pull-ups?
Nah, man. I didn't even know what a weighted pull-up was at that time. So when I was doing that, I was like, yeah, I'm here. I'm here. And the thing is, another thing that is really key as well, right, is enjoyment of what you're doing and of the gym. So like I say, a lot of this you can take into your normal everyday life. So when we was in the gym, when we was doing those pull-ups, push-ups, flies, whatever we were doing, it was actually enjoyable. Yeah, it was enjoyable. And it's because the environment that was set was an enjoyable environment, which made those small victories even better. So the environment as well, and what you create and the energy is key. You get it?
Yeah, yeah. So energy, environment is key. Yeah.
Everything is energy, man. You know what I mean? Everything is energy. Even being here today, there's energy in the room, which is a good energy. So you can express and tell everyone what they need to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
What about your mindset? I do believe that you've got a very powerful mindset. I'm going to save it to the end to tell you a little bit more about this guy, okay? Because he's been really modest right now. Do you know what I mean? Where really he could be like, I'm letting him have it.
No, man, no. They'd never do that, man. The mindset, right, is everything. Because let's say that you're not so good at something, but your mindset is good, right? You've got a really strong mindset. At the end of the day, the person with a strong mindset eventually will achieve it. You can have people out there that have natural ability, but have a weak or poor mindset, right? And someone with average ability that has a really strong mindset improves because they've got the belief. So your mindset is everything. Yeah. Everything.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. And like I said, I think we're in an era right now that everyone needs to protect their mindset.
Yeah, man.
Because there's people who are getting broken out there.
Yeah, man.
And you've got to really, like I say, fill your tank up before you can serve anybody else.
Trust me.
Because it's hard to serve somebody else on an empty tank.
You can't. You can't. And the thing is, it's the difference between, let's say you have a family, right? And everyone depends on you within that family. But let's say you're not filling up your tank. You're not looking after yourself. So how on earth can you be looking after everyone else? You have to put yourself in a position to be, right, I need to deal with me. I need to make sure I'm okay. I need to make sure I feel good. I need to make sure I'm all right so I can radiate that down to everyone else. Without that, it's going to flop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to put yourself in that position.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me ask you a question now. So, okay, now that you've solved this problem, what does life look for you like now that you've solved this problem that you had?
Well, there's
or that's if you have solved it.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's like a magic one you can solve it. You go gym, everything's good. Life isn't like that, right? The gym is an aspect of your life. Right? It's an aspect of your life. And what I've always found myself is when you get up in the morning, I go to the gym in the mornings, right? Because that's when I'm most motivated, right? So I go to the gym now. And when I wake up, sometimes I do not feel like doing it. I don't feel like going. And let's be real. Sometimes you wake up, you're like, oh, my days. The weather out there does not look good. It's raining, it's snowing, it's sleet. I got to clean the car. I got to get dressed. I got to, and you don't want to do it. And you're almost like the voice talks you out of it. The devil and the angel, right? Talks you out of it. You're like, just chill for an hour, man. I'll go tomorrow. You know what it's like. You go down that rabbit hole and tomorrow never comes. That's basically what happens with a lot of people, right? But what I've found is when I go to the gym and if I've had any prior issues or I had a bad day or something, and then I go to the gym, always feel better. I swear, I always feel better. So I kind of fast forward my mind to that feeling
Okay.
of feeling better. And I'm like, do you know what? Let me go, man.
Yeah.
Let me go, man.
I like that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I dare anyone out there to tell me that you didn't feel better after going to the gym. Dare you. Tell me you didn't.
Yeah.
Because you're a damn liar.
Yeah. So,
You know
now,
what I mean?
so now it's gone like to another level now. Would
Yeah.
you say? Because when you first came, it was about like you wanted to look in a certain way in your clothes.
Yeah.
And do you still?
Yeah. Still, I still want to feel and look a certain way in my clothes. But this is all about well-being.
Okay. So now it's changed over
It's
now.
changed. It's because I'm kind of maintaining, right, where I've got to. And this is all about well-being as well, right? At the end of the day, you know, no one's getting younger. We're all aging. Some of us look well. Some of us don't look well. Some of us got illnesses, whatever the case may be, right? I'm 50 years old. And at the end of the day, I have to do this for my well-being. I want to look like this and feel like this at 60. I want to look like this and feel like this at 70. How am I going to do it unless I start? Do you get it? So there could be someone 52 out there, oh no, I'm doing it, man, I'm old now, man. No, just start, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Because a year into your journey, you're going to be glad that you did.
Yeah.
But your mindset and the stars for you have to align. Do you know what I mean? Because everyone's journey is different. No matter who you are, your journey is different to where you're going. Do you know what I mean? So I can only tell people what my journey was, but their journey may be different. They may do it 3 or 4 times and fail.
Yeah.
But that 4th or 5th time, that's the one. It's like passing your driving test, and they keep on trying until they pass.
Yeah. So true. I'm also going to state about, on the journey regarding your hip.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Okay, because I know that viewers don't really know that we had to overcome that in a certain sense. So, how do you feel about that now? Because like you're going to the gym now, and you're still doing activities.
Yeah.
Especially e.g. squash.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Let's talk about it now. In fact, do you believe? Okay, you know what? This guy is like, Mike, I'm killing him at the gym and I'm showing him all this stuff, and then he's like, Mike, why don't you come play squash? I really love squash. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'll come play squash with you. It's been coming up to 2 years now and I still ain't beat him.
That's a
now,
good one, man.
let's get one thing straight now. Okay. I'm more fitter than him. Okay.
He is.
I'm more agile than him.
He is.
Okay. Because he's got a hip problem.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
He's younger than me as well.
Okay. I know you're good at him. And this guy, he destroys me every time. I said to him, like, I'm not battling against your body, because I know I can beat you in that element, but your mindset, it's like, whoa. It's like it won't lose.
Nah, I can't, man. Not yet. All it is with squash, right? It's like knowing a game, right? Like I'll give you an example. In football, some people used to talk about run into the space, run into the this, run into the that. And if you're not like football literate, what do you mean run into the space, man? What do you mean? You know what I mean? It won't make sense to you, right? Squash is one of those games where it's about placement. You can stay still and have the opponent running up and down and you're still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can do the same thing in football as well, but they call it like old man football.
Yeah.
And old man football is like just run into the space, receive the ball, score. Rather than running up and down the wing, just run into the space. Sometimes you can walk into the space because people think, oh, you're old, you're not going to score the goal. Don't have to mark him too tough. So you just basically walk into the space and then you score.
Yeah.
Squash, you just know the spaces. You put it there, you put it to the right, you put it to the left, you put it center, then you put it to the right again, or you may even put it to the left. You don't know what I'm going to do. Serve it hard, serve it fast, serve it low, serve it high. What's he going to do?
Yeah.
So then your opponent is guessing.
Yeah, well.
And when they're guessing...
You certainly got me guessing, man.
Bro, but when they're guessing, guess what they're using? Energy.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He takes my power and he just uses it against me. But saying that.
He's getting close though.
I'm getting close. I'm getting close. Hopefully this year I'm going to do you, and I'm being consistent with this year. Though.
You got uncomfortably close the other day.
Yeah, I did. I was like, what?
I'd go quiet.
I was like, I'm getting up to 7 points. This is the most I've ever got.
Yeah.
Don't mess it up now, Mike. Come on. And he's just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, man.
And I'll be honest with you, I've seen him do stuff, and considering he's got a hip injury, he's quick, man. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, man.
Yeah?
Kills me, man. Kills me, because the thing is, anyone that plays football will know this as well, right? Or even sports. There are things that you could do 10 years ago and you can still do it in your mind, but you know the body won't do it. So you have to basically play a different type of game. You get what I'm saying? So, for example, in squash, I will never be too far behind the line, for example, because in order to make it over the line, I'll have too much work to do.
Yeah.
So my positioning is everything. So you're not too far away from anything.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Whereby when one was younger, it wouldn't matter because I was lightning fast. I'll get there anyway.
Okay.
Right.
So, as you're saying all these things, like I'm hearing you talk, and I hear like life adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
That's played a big role in like for you to carry on doing your sports.
Yeah.
And just adapting in your health, your well-being, your mental state.
100%.
As you're getting older. And, what would you say to some of the men out there and women that, they're heading into this stage, but they still expect to do the similar things, or they're not looking to refine it?
Oh boy, you got to look at it like this, man. Are you the same person that you were like 10 years ago? And maybe the right answer is no, because you've evolved, or, you've regressed, whoever, whatever, right? So the thing about this is like, you have to be open, you have to be adaptable with anything, because any obstacle can come in front of you. Anything can happen, right? And then you have to adapt to the situation. So for me, in terms of my hips, I went to the doctors, and the doctor looked at me, looked at my x-ray, looked at me, and he said, you shouldn't be walking the way you walk, But I understand that you are a sportsman because of the injury that I can see here. So it's literally like, it's gone from cartilage to like bone on bone. And it's severe on both sides, right? But it says, you're still playing sport, so you should do that because it seems to work for you. And for me, if I don't move, it hurts more. When I move and I'm exercising and I'm walking and I'm jogging and I'm playing sport, it hurts less. The faster I move, the better it is. Mm-hmm. So I listen to my body.
Yeah.
Right? So I think maybe listen to your body.
Yeah. And make adaptations where you can.
Make adaptations where you can. I don't sprint anymore because I simply can't. Right? Jogging, a little bit difficult, but I can. So I can do it in short spurts, right? Which some football and squash definitely lends itself to. But if I'm saying to you, yeah, man, I jog around the track and I do 400 meters. No, I can't do that. I can't do that anymore. If it's a case of, Roy, yeah, man, let's do a 100 meters run. No, I can't do that anymore. But I've accepted that I can't do that anymore. I can't do that, but I can do this.
Yeah, so you've made changes. And I know that when we were speaking at the beginning, that was like one of the reasons, like you were like, yo, I'm calming down on football, but I want to switch over to something else.
100%. Let me tell you something. Quick story, yeah? I remember when I was about 41, 42, I had this, what I called a renaissance in football. I was playing 11-a-side football. And, man, I was scoring goals for fun. Before my hip problem, right? Scoring goals for fun. I had 45 goals that season. One player's player, one best player, one top goal scorer. I was flying. It was wonderful. The following season, I expected more of the same. Hip problem, come. I thought I had groin strain. That's what it felt like, right? Yeah. And people that I was flying past the year before, I saw some guys with some big bellies catching me up. Yeah. I was thinking, how is this happening? How is this happening? Slowed right down. Only scored 12 goals that season. Yeah. I realized something's wrong.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And in playing football with the ground, of the way it was uneven, some were muddy, some were hard, it was aggravating it even more. So that's when I knew I had to stop playing 11-a-side. It's a sad thing, but you have to know when you're doing yourself more damage. Does that make sense? And also when you can't perform at the same level.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I kind of stopped 11-a-side football.
Yeah. No, awesome story. Awesome story. But it's also lovely to hear about how you realized from the picture that you were going down another route that you didn't want to go, and you pulled it back.
Yeah, man. Couldn't really hang with that, bro. To be real with you, man. Yeah, you know, it's like you see people, and for yourself actually. But if you see people you're not seeing in like 4, 5, 6 years, and you know you don't want that kind of polite smile, like, oh, you look well. That time they know, so you put on like maybe 5 stone. You know what I mean? Oh, you look healthy. Yeah, I look fat, mate. You know what I mean?
Listen, I know.
Yeah.
I get to see it from the other side because I'm that guy who's always always working out. So when I do see people like who I've worked with or who I grew up with, and I'm looking at them and I'm like, and they're like, Mike, you look good, and I'm like, and they're quick to tell me about, oh, I've let myself go, and I'm like,
yeah, I'm glad you said it, mate. Yeah, you said it, mate, not me. Yeah, Saif.
But listen, you know, like I said, for Body Shop, I'm trying to create a movement of like-minded individuals that have transformed their body and they remain to keep sharp in their mind, their soul and their well-being. And, you know, and I have to say, from the journey where you started from, not knowing a clue about lifting weights, resistance equipment, to go off that you're in training by yourself now.
Yeah, man.
Do you know what I mean? And, you know, I'm getting regular pictures of you in the morning.
Yeah,
Mike,
man.
I'm in the gym, Mike. And I'm seeing what workouts you're doing.
Yeah.
And do you know what I mean? And I always say that I'm not here to have you like around me for a long period of time. You're with me to the point that you become confident, that you can go off and, you know, teach the knowledge and help somebody else and the rest of it. And, you know, it's come to a point where I'm like, you know what? Like Roy, I could leave Roy and I could see him 2 years down the line and I know that he'll still be in it.
Still on it.
Because you've made that transformation and it's part of your lifestyle. And that's one thing that you said at the beginning. You said, Mike, I don't want it to be short term. I want it to be my lifestyle.
It's got to be a lifestyle, bro. Even to the point where I've been on holiday. Sometimes I work away and one of the first things I'm like, you got a gym there? Oh, okay, cool. And I'll use the gym. I would never do that back in the day. About gym. I'm on holiday. Do you know what I mean? I would never do that. I wouldn't do it. But because it's kind of ingrained, it becomes ingrained in your DNA. And then with me anyway, I don't know, I feel guilty. If I don't do it, I feel guilty. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll feel like, oh, I should have done that, man. And it doesn't matter if I'm on holiday, if I'm away with work or something like that, doesn't matter. 2 to 3 times a week, I need to be in the gym.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. No matter the weather, just on it.
That's it. It's like, what did I say, man? 21 days to form a habit, right? Generally speaking, 21 days to form a habit. So if you keep on doing the same things for 21 days, you generally form the habit.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And it's been longer than 21 days with you in it.
All about time. Yeah, man.
Roy, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. Before you leave off,
yes, sir.
Is there anything that you could tell your past self, okay? What would you go back and tell your past self that would help the future you?
Be more open-minded. Be more open-minded. Listen more. Talk less.
Awesome.
That's it.
Yeah. Thank you. Roy, it's been a pleasure having you on the show today.
Respect,
and just hearing the other side of your transformation journey. I really got you started. Listen, from Roy and me, we're out. Sharp talk time, people.
Bye, all.